How you doing, everyone? Today we've got probably the ultimate collaboration and the ultimate PvP tier list that we're probably going to make in a long time for Call of Dragons, right? It's me and then your main boy Guns here together. We're going to be working and hopefully making a pretty good tier list that anyone who's playing season, 1, looking at season B2 and season of Strife, you should know what heroes are going to be good throughout each of the seasons when you get the ability to unlock them, right? So with all of that said, let's get into today's video. So Guns, my dude, how you been?
Good, bro. Good, bro. Just trying to stay relevant in noir, I'm just a small fish over there.
Yeah.
But I recently pushed some power, so we
Yeah.
moved our way up a little bit.
Well, obviously you being more of a T5, well, it's going to be good because I think for some of the heroes that obviously you're going to choose where they're going to be, if they're going to be in the S rank or all the way up to the S plus rank, if they're that OP, right? From a T5 perspective, compared to me, that's been more of a T4 player, right? So I can kind of understand more the low spender view while you've got the big spender view. So I think that's a pretty good contrast for the video, right? So, since you're the guest, I'm going to be mean and be like, do you know what? Which hero do you want to talk about? You can pick any of the heroes. There's no particular order. You can go on any of them. We'll just work through each one.
All right, I'm just gonna go straight into it, bro. We just wait, one hero or a pairing?
You can, well, do you want to do a pairing? You can do a pairing if you want to do a pairing.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, what's the pairing of heroes you want to talk about first then?
For me, Gorish Skogel.
Okay, obviously. So where are you placing
Yeah,
these two? Where are you putting the two monsters?
Gorish Skogel or 1000% S plus. Um,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, even you as a T4 player, like you found your value. But even for me last season, I only had 500k T5 tanks, and I was just resource healing them, just freaking sending them in, just maxed out, getting a bunch of freaking merits. And now though, I think their value goes up even more than last season because my prediction is that this is going to be the only March that can stop the new Cav heroes
Mm-hmm.
in the rally meta as far as garrison. That's my prediction. Because I think they're just gonna rip right through Magze. I mean, they're literally made for Magze. But anyways, um, yeah, I think they'll be able to counter them. And we all know what the new Bastion's coming in, being able to preserve those little troops. I'm sure people will be very happy to see someone has a gory skull go ready to go to counter the new Cavs.
Yeah, no, definitely agree with everything you said there. Like, even for me, as a T4 guy that unlocked the 551 Goresh and even just like a double 511 score for like as minimal effort and investment I could put into the match, it works a treat. It does a nice amount of damage, it tanks a nice amount of damage, and like you said, in like season B2 with all the Magrets and Zade, it is one of the matches that can deal with it. And then in Season of Strife, I do agree. I think this match and maybe when, if we do get them, the new infantry come out, they're going to be the ones that are going to stop the new cavalry hero. So I do agree with you there. So I'm going to take over then. I will finish off the main infantries that we've got because I thought if we get rid of the infantries, it might get everyone in a good picture. So I'm going to talk about Madeline and Garwood as a pairing. Obviously, I'm going to rank the heroes differently, but I think Madeline Garwood is pretty good, right? It's a pretty good tank. It's just there to just absorb as much damage, but it's not really going to get you the merits like a Goresh Skogel. But Madeline on her own, I still think is a really good hero. So I'm going to put her in A tier, while I'm going to put Garwood in actually in the B tier, right? I just think it makes a bit sense of when you look at the pairings, Madeline has that potential, even from a season or generational 1 hero, maybe in a generational 3 or 4 infantry commander that comes out, she could be paired with them and be potentially something pretty strong. So, what's your thoughts about the Madeline Garwood?
Yeah, I think it's a really good combination. Like, I mean, my wife somehow has an awakened Garwood. We won't talk about that, but she has an awakened Garwood, and yeah, and they do just that. Like when we were, fighting FS when their fort mysteriously disappeared, like she just kept sending that freaking Garwood in there, and it was doing the work. It was impressive seeing even a season 1 investment still bringing in value to their teams.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just gonna throw it in here just because I just realized that there's technically one more infantry on her own. She feels a bit lonely in the middle. Spotlight or editor zoom in. I'm gonna put Nika actually in the same boat. I don't think maybe even lower. Do you know what? I'll put Nika even lower because to be honest, like she looks cool on paper. She deals a ton of damage, and obviously when you've played Rock, HP reduction style of buffs were really interesting, right? They're kind of the go-to, but in this game at the moment, they're not the go-to at all. And the thing is, she's not that tanky either. So the only real way you see her used is if someone's run out of stamina, or generally if you're gonna be peacekeeping, you can use it to boost that like kind of like peacekeeping XP now with the changes in there. So at least covers all the infantry in one go, right? So we've got the Chads of Call of Dragons covered there straight away. So I'm gonna pass it on to you, let you discuss maybe another 2 heroes. Up to you.
Yeah, all right. Let's see. Let's go with good old Bert Tohar.
Okay, the cow pig and the boy. Where we placing them?
Damn, dude. Let's see.
Just think you don't have to place them in the same place. You could talk about the
True.
pairing, but you might think one is more flexible and better than the other, right? So you could place one higher than the other.
That is true. I think let's start off with Bert. I'm gonna
Okay.
put him in the S tier.
Boom, in the S tier.
Putting him in the S tier. He used to be in my S plus tier. And it depends, right? It could be argued S plus or S. So if there could be in between, he'd be in between those lines right there. Because I feel like, obviously we know, I mean, with Bird Tohar, like their main thing is having that Mirage Orb. That Mirage Orb is freaking insane. If the Mirage Orb was able to reflect in merits, he'd go in the S plus for me. Because I'm just a freaking merit whore. Yeah, I love merits. So I would place him there, right? Because he can go well with almost any. He can go well with Valen. He blends in well with Thea. Keeping that Thea's lifespan alive. Okay, so let's see. Moving on to Tohar.
Where's the pig? Boop, 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 boop.
I'm gonna say A tier, dude.
Oh,
I feel bad. And I may be wrong with that. But I'm just saying, dude. Like, if I had to choose, and I get asked this question a lot, who would I choose, Bert or Tohar? And my answer is 100% always Bert, because it's like, well, he goes well with Thea, and he can go well with Valen if he needs to, right?
Yeah.
And just the flexibility there, and I don't know, man. Tohar was just.
You know what? I think you're right, because the thing is, which is kind of sketchy, is obviously we're going to be getting the generation of 3 mages as well. And I don't know if single target wise they're going to do the same amount of damage, but I've got a good feeling they're going to go back to some area of effect mages, because that's kind of what they're there for. And if they are, they're going to outscale him. But when you look at Bert, like you said, even as a T4 player, you can run Fear, and even if you don't have a good Fear, you could still run Atheist, and but Atheist for like a flying match is really good. As you said, Valen for a T4 player as well with Bert, it's really good. So like, it's crazy how this flying commander is actually really versatile for that. So I kind of think you're right with the S and A tier on both of those, which is kind of sad to see the cow in A tier, but maybe he's kind of like Bert, the gatekeeper, maybe you have to be better than the cow to get into the S tier, even if it's the bottom of it. So where am I Like, do you know what? I'll do some archers. I'll go back to G.
Sneaky archers.
We'll go back to G1 because a lot of people are probably wondering about this. So we'll talk about Nico and Kanara, right? So when we're looking at this match on paper, it's a pretty good match. I'm not gonna lie, even for after season one, it's a pretty good match. The amount of damage this thing can fire out with the defense break combo is kind of nasty, and it has a really good counter attack damage bonus too. However, when we're looking at the heroes, I am gonna put this is gonna be hard as well because I think Nico personally is like king of the B tier, meaning is that hero where if you don't have him awakened, he just isn't good. That's the sad reality of Nico. But as soon as you awaken him and you get the defense break damage on top of all of his kit, it's gonna be really good. Especially with Season of Strife, because you got to think you can replace that second skill now, get rid of the engineering bonus, and potentially add either rage accumulation speed and hero skill damage through one of the skills, or maybe an archer buff again for someone else. So it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do in the Season of Strife. But Kanara, I want to put her in S tier. I don't know what it is about this hero. She's just like I'd say the jack of all trades, where she just can tank an insane amount of damage because of the damage reduction she deals, and the fact that she just deals a ton of damage too, which is weird because like her physical counterattack damage bonus she gets from a skill 4 scales really, really well. When you awaken her, you have the defense break, which is even more broken. And the cool thing is with the Kanara is even for a spender, you can do like Kanara and Hosk or Hosk Kanara, and it's just an absolute mage nightmare. So it's cool how you've got this kind of like season 1 commander that is good from there, even in season 2. And I even can tell in this season, because of the removal of long range talent, you're probably going to see the rise of Hoskanaras on the field again. So I think she's definitely going to be S tier in my eyes. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. I mean, that's definitely something that I've been seeing a lot more people talking about. You know, they're like, with long range warfare gone, like Kanara Hosk is back. And yeah, like just the level of versatility, her ability to still be in like top lineups of top fighters since season one, even to now, Season of Strife is which we're a year and a few months since global launch, and people are still running her out there. And I'm actually just now learning about crazy Snow Peak rock setups that just fully complete her kit.
Yeah, it is. It is a crazy. It is. I feel like just that one match where when you get all the pieces together, it is a crazy match. It's like Exodia almost, compared to some of the other heroes on the list that don't need as much input. Let's just say they can do way more damage, right? So I'll pass it on to you. What's going to be the next two heroes you want to talk about?
The next one I want to talk about is Indis.
Oh, my girl. Okay, where we put
I'm
it?
gonna put. I'm putting her in A tier.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
A tier. I feel and like similar to to Bert. I feel like she could be in between S and A, because I think all her magic is done behind the scenes, and we as humans are attracted to shiny, cool looking stuff. You're able to see that raw damage, raw numbers getting put out there, but in this is freaking huge, man. You're able to, especially, for allowing that all that DPS with the freaking, uh, what is it, 20% reduction?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
20%.
20% reduction. They kept it at 3 seconds, right?
Yeah.
All right, thank God.
Oh no, wait. The
Yeah,
infirm. Actually, no. I think it said 3 seconds, but that was a error on their end. It's actually 2 seconds from if I tested it.
rip.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, even that reduction is good. She actually recently, last season, with all the fighting that we did, she finally replaced my Waldir actually, because
Mm-hmm.
I was running Waldir Valen for a while, and I know that's a very popular combination for a lot of people watching, and in this taking over was huge, especially stacked on with Breath Gigantus. Like she's amazing. You know,
Yeah,
on top of that, people use her for all kinds of stuff. You know, the tank mains put her in there. I've seen archer mains put her in there. Like she could just get put everywhere as a utility march.
yeah, definitely. Like she is the honestly one of the best overall heroes. She puts the infirm, like you said, on, which is so important. Like people don't realize that infirm behind the scenes is making your actual DPS matches perform so much better over time. It's just crazy the reports you get out of her. And then the skill 4, right? The 50% counter attack damage reduction is just crazy. Like that is just crazy. Like if you're a T4 player and you have that skill at 5 and you go against like someone who's T5, you honestly feel the difference of the 50% because normally you're punished for it and you don't feel as punished while you're running that in there. So I do agree she's A tier, especially with the new buff to the skill damage 2 on a kit and all that. So it's going to be really interesting, I'm going to say, for this season, depending on how people are going to use it with infantry, cav, mages, or archers, like you said, because she's that good of a flexible hero. So I'll do the justice to the cavalry heroes. I will talk about
Oh, what
Forendil, and I
heroes?
actually think Forendil in this season is actually going to be A tier, potentially S tier, and I'm going to just play A tier first to be a bit safe, because obviously I'm not the super cav guy as some people are. The reason why I think Forendil is going to be really good this season is actually when you look at the Season of Strife map, that map has quite a lot of open terrain for cabs, which is kind of good. But the final zone is very bridge heavy, very like just mountain terrain. So flying units in general are gonna have honestly a field day, I think, in the final zone. So I think Forendil up here is definitely going to be pretty good in the A tier. However, when we look at someone like Theodore in that category, I'm actually going to put him in B tier because I would have put him still in the A category as pretty much a cav hero. However, as we see, Tobin is on this list, and I just think Tobin is just going to do Theodore's job just better, unfortunately. While Forendil's cowardice, I think, is just kind of like a more OP, mechanic overall, especially against archers too, with less range. So that's my thoughts of the Cavs. What do you think? Do you reckon they're in the same boat, or would you rate them lower?
I think I would put him in. I would put Theo in A tier.
Okay.
Um, and the reason for that is like for me at least when Theodore first came out, right when he's like the next Garrison hero, like he comes in really clutch with Roots of War. But the thing with Cavs guys is they shine in places where the sun doesn't shine.
Wait, all of you. Daddy, chill. What the hell?
And what I mean by that, some of you guys are probably like, "What?" But what I mean by that is like everyone's eyes and all the limelight is on that big open field battle, right, where everything's going down. But I myself with Theodore and Ferrando, I was able to get some 100K plus merit reports going around freaking farm killing and killing people reinforcing, utilizing Blink to go over freaking rivers and also just killing people that put a bunch of tank marches because people like flying around with flying chickens and chickens don't like tanks, right?
Mhm.
But you slap a freaking elk rider on there, which there are not a lot of people farm kill with elk riders. Man, you'll get 100K plus reports every time. So if you were to fit this pairing in a place where they shine, they would for sure be S tier. Getting those 100K report plus at a time is insane.
Mm. You know what? You've convinced me. I'll put the bald man, the goatee on A tier for now. And you know what? If you're watching this part, let's hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Theodore and Forendor should be both A tier, or do you reckon it should be higher? Right. So balls in your park. Who do you want to talk about next? Which pairing?
Let's see. The next one up is gonna be good old Zade.
I've got a feeling
Man, oh man, where do I even begin, bro? Both of them are S pluses by far. This pairing right here, as everyone knows, like, man, from the get-go, we were seeing Zade doing some crazy value. Every content creator that was doing videos was like, dude, what the hell? Even like a 511 mag with a 5111 freaking Zay are going insane. I mean, they're just top DPS out there. On top of that, they have DPS, they have survivability. A lot of people mistaken thinking that it's a squishy March. It's not. It heals and has so much HP. It actually, for me personally, it got more merits than a Hosk in a swarming situation. I don't know how. Maybe because it was like a 50-50 T4 field. I don't know, but that's just how I was doing, and especially with the gilded crossbow. On top of that, it's my top March in my free to play account, which is 15 million power. And in a kingdom where my free to play account is ranked 50th, I was top 4 in DPS when we finally took the dragon for 2 weeks of fighting, trying to establish a home kingdom, and we finally did it. And even as a free to play player, that 5111 mag, which I got extremely lucky in the Destiny wheel. So if you go try and get in her as a free to play and don't get her, don't blame me. I warned you. It's very lucky, but huge, man. This March, yeah. And on top, final point, the garrison on this is insane, dude. I remember we played against BDO when this March was like pretty fresh when they first came out. Of course, BDO players had them freaking maxed. Impossible. We could not take it down with anything.
Yeah,
Cav rallies, nothing.
It's insane because it's like almost I thought we wasn't gonna get the problem child like Rise of Kingdoms, which was like a Tiller ticket. Like that match came out originally in that KVK and just caused so many issues, and it just feels like it's the same, but for all the reasons you said, which is right. Because like the healing potential on this match is insane. When you get the variable healing on, you have obviously the steadfast strike on your pet. You can have as well the sand lizard, which is healing on top, and then you can have even talents that add healing. So just the natural sustain of that match just allows it to deal so much DPS compared to everything else, which is insane to see on every front. So I have to agree. Like this is it's the best archer match in the game. Like hands down the best archer match in the entire game. So to finish up the archers, we'll do the sad bits, which is going to be Syndrion and Fragar. And this one's going to be kind of hard for me because I don't know how I'm going to place them both. Because to me, in this season, is going to be one when we find out the actual answer. If we're talking about pre-season or pre-Magarat, this hero is an S plus hero, but the thing is, Magarat's out now. To me, he is dropped down a rank, but I think he stays there because I just think the rapid fire, the amount of damage this guy can pump out, especially with the mastery skill system that we got in Season of Strife, I think he's going to do quite a lot of damage that people are going to be caught off guard from. Especially the fact that you can run Syndrion and Fragar. That's a pretty viable option. People enjoy like the Kin Sin option instead of running Fragar in a lot of scenarios. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I love Syndrion. I don't think he's A tier. But I am going to put Fragar there though. I'm gonna put her there because the thing is, for me, Fragar is really good utility wise. Like she's really good at giving archers that damage which they want. She's good at obviously rage accumulation speed, but the problem is, it's like for me, Fragar requires someone that really does fully take advantage of pure single target damage uptime like Syndrion does. And I think that's kind of a crutch for her. It doesn't make her as flexible as people make her out to be. She does get some good results, but if you're going to be honest with yourself, I think like any of these S or S plus heroes, when you compare them to Fragar, you normally would take them over her, in my eyes. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think Fragar, however, has a freaking super long lifespan,
Mm-hmm.
especially because I thought that, you know, with every new Archer hero, they're going to come out with one that's a flyer, and that hasn't been the case. So because that's the case, I think ultimately Fragar will end up outliving Syndrion.
Yeah, I
Because
agree there.
eventually, there's going to be a bunch of ground archers that are just better than Syndrion, which we're talking, you know, years from now, really. But you know, for those people that want to keep marches that are relevant, especially people that are spring warden, yeah, you can't go wrong with uh still going for Fragar.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's what I mean. When we're saying A guys, just remember we're not saying they're bad heroes at all. These are like really good heroes. Anyone in this top category, and when you're going down below it, that's kind of when you're looking a bit. You know, you're thinking, do I really care about these guys unless they're fully, maxed out also. So I do agree what you say there. Like the flying potential of her, even with this map, right, is it could actually show off, right? The new Wyvern Riders, the new Wyvern Riders out. Maybe that could showcase how good she actually is on her own. Who knows, right? Because we haven't actually seen that yet. So I think for us, placed where she is, it's actually a pretty good, safe pick for now. And maybe at the end of the season of Strife, it changes, right? So the list is getting small. We've got 6 boys left and girls.
Hmm.
What are the next 2 you're gonna go for?
Ooh, I think the next one I'm gonna put up there is Thea.
Okay.
I am gonna rate Thea at S tier,
Mm-hmm.
and I know a lot of people probably put her in A tier, but I think I mean, for example, Thea is a freaking hero that even before I started creating content, you know, I saw you talking about her that she's a great investment. I saw Holst and Meower, everyone talking about like how good she was. And then kind of out of nowhere for months, she was just like untalked about. Like no one really talked about Thea. Um, but she has been freaking amazing for me. I mean, she's one of my top marches for merits with mixed with Lilia Thea with the Celestial specifically. And she's just been putting in work, man. I have over 200 million kills with her. Even when all I had was Atheist, like she was still putting in work, especially in season 1 and season 1 plus. Those Celestials are crazy. You know, especially a lot of players aren't expecting these flying units to run around
Yeah.
farm killing, right? Especially the seasons that have barricades. Like,
Yeah.
bro, Thea is just amazing. However, I do feel like she needs to be pretty damn near close to Awaken. So, pretty hefty investment, but I think for main mages for sure, she's up there.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. At first, when I was talking about her a lot, I would have probably put her in A tier, but the more and more I've been playing, obviously, the game, I am probably inclined to say she's S tier. Because the thing is with Thea, even for like a free-to-play player, spender, or whatever, like at the early stages of the game, if she's like 5-1-1-1-1, you're still going to be using her with Atheist, right? It's a really good combo for just the raw damage output it can do for such a cheap investment. And it is one of those heroes that just every skill that you get maxed, she does just get inherently good. It's not like the wasted stats. Everything gets just better and better. When you do awaken her, you get such a good payoff for mage players too. Like, it's crazy. It's like one of the best heroes that just showcases like what a good investment is throughout each of the skills compared to some other heroes that might miss one skill here and there, kind of like Syndrion does with his rally based skill, right? What's the next hero you want to talk about since you hit Fear?
Before I touch on that, just one little
Oh,
point on Thea. Like,
yeah.
she's just used everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
Infantry, cav, just everywhere. So a lot of utility there. But yeah, moving on to the next one. Um, Ooh, good old Lilia.
Okay, where we putting the fire girl?
Oh man, I wish I could have an in between, dude. S plus and a S.
I would help you out, and I would put her here, and I would put her at the very back end of it. That would be me. But where do you want to put your beautiful mage girl?
Yeah, I think in the back end. I think in the back end. But and I may be biased here because I'm a mage main. But man, I mean, I think I'm up to like 300 million kills now with Lilia, and I don't foresee her lifespan going down. Like I said, I'm a freaking merit whore, and her with that Infernal Flame having that passive of the increased attack generates substantially more merits on paper, which merits are huge. Everyone loves merits, right? And yeah, I mean, she still gets more merits on paper, like I said, on paper, than Bert and Tohar and any of the other mage heroes with that Thea pairing. So the fact that you can get her, she's arguably the cheapest hero in terms of like paying for it, right? Whether you add up the dailies or not, I think she's the cheap. What is it, like 180 to awaken her?
Like she's like $200 basically, like $200.
Yeah.
Also, you've got her.
I've seen multiple players that probably have like, a few grand or just over $1,000 invested into the game and don't have Lilia Awaken, which is a big mistake. Not only are you getting treaties and speed ups and other things like that from the VIP shop, you're also getting a hero that is getting used in season of Strife today and getting top merits.
Yeah, no, I agree. The thing is, it's like it is hard, but I would have to put her in S plus. Like when you look at Lilia and you do compare her to any other mage in the game, none of them compare to her merits. Like you said, if you put Thea with Lilia, you've only technically got one damage dealer and you got one enhancer. And she's doing more damage than Bert Tohar. That's 2 damage dealers specializing in dealing damage. Right? It's crazy how there's such a technically the lowest investment if you're going to spend on a hero in the game, how much value you get from season 1, season B2, and even in season of Strife now. Because like I said, mastery skills are here. We can get rid of the peacekeeping talent. It is insane how much value this one hero.
I'm excited, dude.
It's crazy, I know. It's crazy. So I think she has to be there. I think she is the best mage in the game. Like, flat out, just the best mage at the moment. Until, who knows, maybe someone outranks her in the next set of heroes. So I'll leave Valen and Hosk to you, because I think you being a mage guy and a spend, I think you'll probably give better insights to Hosk. I think I know where I would place him, but when we're talking about the last 2 heroes, the cavalry heroes, I'm going to be a bit brutal. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be fucking brutal with these 2 heroes. I actually think Emrys is an ace tier hero. Like, I'm not going to deny this cavalry hero his A rank, because if you do, you're an idiot. Because, yes, he does an insane amount of single target nuke, but Jesus Christ, the rage accumulation speed on this guy with the damage dealt bonus and the hero skill damage bonus when surrounded, like, no matter what, in the future, kind of like you said with Fragar, I think there's always going to be a pairing with Emrys that just has him in there because of the amount of advantages you get playing that playstyle that you want, where you're running 2-3 cavalries in the backline, swarming down, killing the reinforcements off. Like, I think he is really good at doing that job. However, bruh, this might be a shock to people, but I am actually going to put this fucking champ in the C tier. Because it is literally the same hero. When you look at both of these heroes, they do a single target nuke, they both bruise, their skill 2 is a peacekeeping skill, the 3rd skill is some stat gain, And then the fourth skill, arguably, I would say is better on Nika than it is on Bakshi, since it's a roulette wheel, right? So if we're being brutally honest with ourselves, I'm putting this guy down here, especially since we're going to finish off the video with everyone's probable thoughts on the two new Cavalry heroes. So it's unfortunate, but I do think he is the worst Cavalry hero now, unfortunately, in legendary terms for Cavalry. Thoughts? What do you think about that?
Bakshi has a pretty special place in my heart, and I
Mhm.
think overall I would still put him in the A tier with Emrys, simply because what I said earlier with the Elk Riders, I was still getting 100 plus. So for me, my Cavalry marches are Theodore and Bakshi. So that's the march that I was using. I was getting like 100k plus merits with them. And you know, other cav mains for sure right now are probably crying.
I would not agree. It's like,
tier.
bro, you're telling me you would rather if you could take a Bakshi or a Forendil, what would you rather take? It's gonna be the Forendil.
Yeah.
Like it's not,
especially now that I'm a Spring Warden.
Yeah,
like, hybrid.
bro, and it's sad to say because I agree. I love this fucking guy, bro. Like, but the thing is, he's just getting outclassed so quickly because of like the fact that we've got Cowardice and Forendil does so many good buffs too. Like the only reason I think Emrys is that good is because he has 4 PvP skills that are actually good for Cavalry. While here we've got kind of like 2 skills that we care about, and the skill 4 is what it is. And even when you expertise this hero compared to Emrys, it's not even close. Like you get so much more value out of an expertise Emrys than you do from a Bakshi, in my opinion. So I don't care if you're a Cavalry main, you can cry in your chair. This guy is staying in the C tier, unfortunately. So you've got the Hosk and Veen, and we can both have our little opinions on Urag and Tobin and just kind of finish off the video there.
Ooh, good old Hosk. He's an in-between S and A for me. But if I had to pick one, I would say I have to go A. Oh, I feel. Oh, wait a minute. Dude, it's so hard. This guy's gotten so many kills for me.
Yep.
I'm gonna say S tier. I'll go for it.
Oh, he's biting the bullet.
I'm going for it. I'm biting the bullet. And the reason why I say that is, once again, I feel like these VIP this one's a little bit more expensive, yeah, to buy in the
he's a little
VIP
bit more.
store.
I think it's $250 if I remember right. Someone might correct me in comment section.
Yeah, 250. He's still up there for me mainly because I still use him with my Kanara Hosk. On top of that, so those of you guys that are aware, you can get a full counter build with Hosk. And even that march is still very relevant today. People still hate hitting a Hosk Kanara. I've ran Lilia and Hosk in the past when my Thea wasn't really up there as much.
Yeah,
they did good with them. I used to run around with freaking Emrys and Hosk in season 1, farm killing people. Dude, global launch, first time a pass opens. Here comes me with some Rise of Kingdoms background of farm killing, just murdering freaking farms. Where I'm talking almost 1 million merits, because you know how they nerfed the merits from farm killing.
Yeah, it was feeling fair.
But yeah, it was up there, and I think he's up there with like 200 something million kills for me too. Just like the amount of utility and flexibility with Hosk across a bunch of marches. That's why I'm putting him there.
Yeah, no, do you know what? Like, I would have agreed if you put him in the A tier, maybe if we didn't know how Caesar Strife works. But like you said, there is the Hoskanara build. Yeah, right. His skill.
Rid of that rally.
Get rid of the rally skill. If you're running Hoskanara, why not just put Nico's counterattack damage and normal attack damage on that skill too? So you've just got even more. Do you know what I mean? Like, I actually believe you're right. I actually think Hosk, and it's funny because people who've played Rise of Kingdoms compare Hosk to Hannibal Barker because that's kind of like the same comparison of like what type of hero this guy is, right? On like a stat machine, but Hosk for some reason giving pure damage, HP, that counterattack crit that stacks, like, and all the other stats that we've talked about. I actually think he's insane. I'm jealous I don't have him. Like, I'm jealous I don't get to do the Huskarara myself. So yeah, I definitely think he is gonna be S tier this season, as well as like just an investment for heroes too from season 1 and season B2 if you're in Belleron. You'll always get value out of his hero. It's crazy. So your last hero is Valen. Your boy Valen, finishing off with a mage.
Oh, damn, dude.
It's a hard list.
I'm gonna go with S. I'm still gonna go with S. He almost made it for me into the A tier, but I mean the man is still doing freaking work, especially if people are not running uh League of Order. Lilia and Valen are still the best combination if you don't have Celestials, and with Lilia being in the S plus, then follows up good old Valen. On top of that, one of the things that I noticed last season, guys, which I was just like mind boggled, which I didn't really know too much about, right? Because I was mainly main mage. I was never really hitting the front lines with tanks, but last season I was pretty much like a tank main with the amount of tanks I resource healed. Dude, when this guy hits you with freeze, your berserker charge just like stops. It was the most annoying thing ever, dude. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't really see. His ability to slow marches down and like kind of stick him into place, even when people are kind of kiting back and forth. That Valen plays a freaking massive part in all that, you know. So that's on top of that, he's like almost 300 million kills for me as well.
That's crazy.
Still usable.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And
even when the new mage heroes come out.
Yeah, he's like it's crazy because he's a gold key commander, so he's like the most free to play friendly mage too. And
that's right. He's the only one that's that high.
Look at that. That's crazy, right? Yeah. And the thing is, it's like you said, you can have the Lilia and Valen, and it does work. You can do Valen with the Wild Deer for the super free to play option, it does work. You could do the support option, right, with the Valen and Indis, and it does work. Like, it's good how he's a really weird, because at first everyone thought it was like a damage-based hero, but the more we've been playing Call of Dragons and kind of how the meta is, I look at him more of a support hero, right? He does some good AoE, but he's not there to do that. He's there to slow you down, shred your defense, and just let your other matches do the work. So I like it. I like the S tier on it. So we've got Urag and Tobin. So obviously, guys, this is the tier list of all the heroes currently in the game, and these are the two new calves that have obviously been released. The one is the Lucky Wheel, which is Urag, and then Tobin is the strongest Lord hero, right? So this is just going to be mine and Guns' first impressions, first assumptions, where we reckon these guys are going to fall on this tier list. Obviously, this isn't concrete, but I thought it'd be a little bit of fun to end the video on. So where do you reckon these two boys are going to be?
Okay. I'm gonna start off by saying that because of these bastions, right? And because none of us want to have a bunch of deads, I think that this March is going to be the best rally March out there to be able to take down that Magzane, those bastions, ultimately leading to less deads. However, in the open field, so I know for sure, well, not for sure, right? But pretty sure that it's going to be the only one that takes out that Magzane in the garrison. And who knows, maybe it's strong enough to still take out Gorish Gogo. I mean, we'll see. But in the open field, though, dude, have you seen the new artifact and what it does?
Yeah, it's kind of cracked. Dude, the stun. It's like the hardest CC in the game. So they can't move, they can't launch normal attacks, and they can't cast any rage skill on you. And whenever you cast your rage skill, you deal bleed damage to him every second for 3 seconds.
It freaking insane. I don't know. I think my prediction is gonna be the S tier.
Okay, so Guns thinks they're gonna be S tier, right? So I do agree with what you're saying on the Rally Garrison meta. I think if this was like a Rally Garrison tier list, these would be the fucking top boys.
Yeah.
Like, not even close. These are going to be the guys that are going to be running the ballpark for a long time until we get maybe an Infantry Garrison in the next couple of heroes that could maybe beat it. Who knows? Maybe Gresh Skogel can stand the test of time. Again, we don't know. But definitely I would say this is the #1 rally pairing. And when it comes to the open field, I get where you're coming from. But I would do Urag more of a favor. I actually think you might see more Urag on the open field than you'll see Tobin, because obviously he's a lucky wheel. He's got AoE. He has the reduction on the damage you take while you're march speeding, which is so important actually for cabs. I actually think these two are actually going to be really insane on the open field. And you could do some maybe pairings where maybe you put your Urag with Forendil. So then obviously the Forendil's skill 3 with the hero skill damage of an increased damage dealt. You could choose, right? If you want him primary or secondary. So I reckon it'd be interesting. I think this is where I'm going to guess they're going to be. While you're going to put both of them in the S tier. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Let me hear where you guys think the Urag and Tobin is going to be on the tier list. And it'll be, obviously, I think, interesting to see what the community thinks on that. So I want to say thank you, Guns, for obviously your time to make this video. It's been a little bit of a long one, but I think this will be a good video for everyone to enjoy. Where they can find you on YouTube, my dude?
Appreciate you having me on, Sneaky. It's always a pleasure making content when someone that's about equally, if not more, passionate about Call of Dragons is me. Which are almost 1,000+ videos in the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, appreciate you having me. You guys can find me at YT Guns COD, guys.
There we go. So
on YouTube and on Twitch.
Yeah, I was gonna say on Twitch. I was like, if you didn't know, so he's on Twitch too, because that's the one thing. I watch you a lot on Twitch over sometimes on YouTube, because obviously the different chat rooms. So yeah, guys, if you didn't know, if you've been sleeping under a rock, go check out Guns. Obviously, his link will be in the description down below. And if you enjoyed this video, smash a like, comment, and subscribe. Share it around. Get the word about. And until the next one, you know the word. Stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.